On September 2nd, 1982, 12-year-old Johnny Gosch vanished without a trace in West Des Moines, Iowa. He had left his house early in the morning to deliver newspapers, something he did regularly to earn money. But that morning was different. Johnny never came home. His disappearance became not only a haunting mystery, but also a pivotal moment in the history of missing child investigations in the United States. The case sparked national concern, led to changes in child safety laws, and introduced a now famous Missing Children on Milk Cartons initiative. But despite decades of investigation, his fate remains unknown. Over the years, the case has become shrouded in speculation, chilling testimonies, and unsettling conspiracy theories. What really happened to Johnny that morning? Why did his mother claim that he visited her years later? And could he still be alive today? Today, we will take a deep dive into the mysterious disappearance of Johnny Gosch, examining the facts, theories, and unanswered questions that continue to haunt investigators and the public. Early that morning, Johnny picked up his newspapers and began his delivery route as usual. Multiple witnesses later recalled seeing him at the newspaper drop-off point. However, something seemed strange. Several paperboys and local residents noticed a suspicious blue Ford Fairmont parked nearby. A man inside the vehicle called Johnny over and started talking to him. Witnesses said Johnny seemed uncomfortable and quickly walked away. Shortly after, another man appeared, following Johnny. One of the last people to see him that morning was a neighbor, who claimed to have heard a car door slam shut, followed by the sound of an engine speeding away. Minutes later, Johnny was gone. When he didn't return home at his usual time, his parents, Noreen and John Gosch, became alarmed. His father retraced Johnny's route and made a chilling discovery. Johnny's red wagon, still full of newspapers, abandoned on the sidewalk. It was clear that something terrible had happened. When Johnny's parents called the police, they expected immediate action. Instead, they were told that Johnny was likely a runaway and that, by law, authorities had to wait 72 hours before officially classifying him as missing. This response was frustrating and heartbreaking for the Gosch family. They knew their son hadn't run away. He was responsible, close to his parents, and had no reason to disappear voluntarily. Noreen quickly mobilized friends, family, and volunteers to search for Johnny. They distributed missing person flyers and went door to door asking if anyone had seen him. As hours turned into days, more disturbing details emerged. A witness reported hearing Johnny cry out, "Help me! Get me out of here!" Another neighbor saw two vehicles in the area, one of which matched the description of the blue Ford Fairmont. A man reported seeing a suspicious white van with out-of-state plates lingering around Johnny's neighborhood days before his disappearance. Despite these alarming accounts, the police still hesitated to treat the case as an abduction. For Johnny's parents, this inaction was devastating. Noreen Gosch later stated that she believed the police were reluctant to investigate because they suspected Johnny had left voluntarily. This lack of urgency in missing children cases was, unfortunately, common at the time. It wasn't until cases like Johnny's made headlines that public pressure forced law enforcement agencies to change their approach. As weeks turned into months with no sign of Johnny, theories about what had happened to him started to emerge. One of the most chilling theories suggested that Johnny had been kidnapped by a highly organized child trafficking ring. This theory gained traction when a man named Paul Bonacci came forward years later, claiming that he'd been abducted by the same group that took Johnny. According to Bonacci, he was kidnapped as a child and forced into a criminal network involved in child exploitation. Johnny was also taken by this group, and Bonacci claimed to have personally met him. The group was highly secretive, well-funded, and protected by powerful people. Bonacci's testimony was disturbing, but law enforcement struggled to find concrete evidence to verify his claims. Was Johnny really abducted by an organized crime network? Or was this just another tragic case of a child vanishing without explanation? In 1997, Noreen Gosch made a shocking claim. She said that Johnny had visited her home in the middle of the night. According to Noreen, a grown man knocked on her door and identified himself as Johnny. She said he was accompanied by another man. He told her he had been held captive for years but had finally escaped. He was terrified, still in hiding, and unable to reveal his location. After speaking for a brief time, Johnny left. Noreen swore that the man who visited her was her son. However, with no physical evidence to prove the meeting ever happened, many remained skeptical. The police dismissed her account, suggesting that she had either been deceived or was imagining things. Even today, opinions remain divided. Did Johnny truly escape and return his mother? Or was this an elaborate hoax? Over the years, multiple theories have been proposed to explain Johnny's disappearance. Theory 1. Johnny was kidnapped by a child trafficking network. This theory is supported by Paul Bonacci's claims and the account of other survivors. Theory 2. Johnny escaped but chose to remain in hiding. If he'd been abducted and later freed, it's possible he chose to cut ties with his past life for his own safety. Theory 3. Johnny was murdered shortly after being taken. Some investigators believe that Johnny's case has simply been buried under layers of false leads and misinformation, and the sad truth is that he likely perished long ago. Each theory has gaps and contradictions, making it difficult to determine which, if any, is the truth. Johnny Gosch's disappearance is more than just a mystery. It's a case that changed the way America responds to missing children. Because of this case, laws were rewritten, parents became more vigilant, and the Amber Alert system was eventually introduced to prevent similar tragedies. But despite the widespread awareness, the question remains, where is Johnny Gosch? His story continues to haunt investigators, and his mother remains convinced that he is alive somewhere, living under a new identity. Will we ever get the answers? Or will this case remain one of the most haunting, unsolved mysteries in American history? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Johnny is still out there? Despite decades of searching, no conclusive evidence has ever surfaced to confirm Johnny's fate. His case remains one of the most perplexing and heartbreaking disappearances in American history. Johnny's story is a reminder of the importance of child safety and the need for fast, effective responses to missing persons cases. Thanks to cases like his, parents, law enforcement, and society as a whole have become more vigilant in protecting children from potential dangers. Even today, new developments occasionally emerge. Strange letters, anonymous tips, and alleged sightings, but none have led to definitive answers. Perhaps one day, new evidence will surface that finally unlocks the truth about what happened to Johnny Gosch. Until then, his case remains an eerie, unsolved mystery. A boy who vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions.